Hi, my name is Vicky, and I have MVRDV firm, 1999, Medicity, Data Town, and the design team was designed by Winnie Moss, Jacob Van Riege, and Natalie de Vries. MVRDV was founded in 1993, was based in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Their goal is to provide solutions to contemporary architecture and urban issues in all parts of the world. Their architecture is more research-based. They work alongside with Delft University of Technology to help envision the city of the future. Many of their projects are inspired by different concepts depending on the project. For example, the image you see on the right side, it's a project in Mission Rock in San Francisco, and it's inspired by geology and natural topography. And I think they wanted to have that become kind of like the landscape in that area and become a part of the building itself, become part of the landscape. Um, so about this project in particular, the Medicity Data Town, this type of architecture that they're um, focusing on is more based only on data. So the whole concept behind this project is to have like no design, no ideology, no representation of any kind. So they would come together, gather a bunch of data about the urban space, and then um, produce um, information through that data. The project is a response to the urbanism and overpopulation happening in the world. Therefore, the city must be built only by numbers and data. A quote by them says, "Dirty realism as style figure." So on the picture on the right, that would be where it says construction in the window frame. That would be based on data and how high and how much construction would be needed. The swamp, the mud, and the sludge, and so forth. By using their data, those numbers are then translated over to diagrams. They use the diagrams then to be reviewed as operations, agendas, and tasks that urban space of that urban space. So they use those diagrams in order to pretty much design that city or that urban space of like what is needed. So therefore, you have a city that describes information. This is definitely a design built for the future. It fits into architectural discourse, and that urbanism is something that needs to be handled now. Since there's no clear answer to how different cities respond to urbanism and how it was built, maybe this could be perhaps a starting off point to build cities or future cities. Um, since everything is based upon data, there is reasoning behind everything that is needed to be built. Not only will the data reveal what is necessary, it can predict what would be needed for future times as well. The manifesto is a city that wants to be described by information and is not bounded by forms, design, or topography. So in that sense, um, based off the data that's obtained and researched and gathered, you could use that data to predict future like expectations and future data of what's needed, like populations, housing, whatever is that's needed in any city, and you could always kind of be ready for what's ahead. And I believe that this will have a positive effect on profession because I think it really thinks into the future and it really helps kind of create like a basis for how a large city could be built or begin to be built without like having to continuously build and demolish. Like for example, in LA, there's a lot of abandoned structures and older structures that are just sitting there. the cost is probably too much to demolish, and the cost of like buying it is too expensive, so it's just a waste of space. These are just some images I found of their project. This is the Metacity and the data town is actually a book that they offer that you could buy, and I guess these are just some of the images that they have in that book. But I think the book goes into more detail about the information about the project and how it deals with certain conditions in different parts of the world and how it can really benefit. And even on the diagram on the left side, it's pretty interesting because they're still incorporating all the necessary things like trees and landscape and forestry, but it's just a more like logical way of approaching things, I think. All right. Thank you.